Hey everyone, this is my second win of the year so far. This is in the Flex League, and I'm playing against Dan, who is a very unique player. He has two forehands, basically. He was talking to me throughout the match, and he started out with a forehand, double backhand, then forehand, one-handed backhand, and now he's been playing around with two forehands, basically. Really fun player to play. His first serve is nasty. He hits a very, very flat first serve to the point where the ball just like doesn't bounce. Sometimes it just straight up skids. And there's a shot in here where like I swing like I normally do and the ball just goes right under my racket. Like I was expecting it to jump and it didn't jump at all. The final score was 6-4 and then a tie break 7-3. In the first set, I was actually down 4-1. Then I came back to win the set 6-4. So I'm really glad I was able to make that comeback. And then the tiebreaker was tough because both Dan and I could tell our legs were pretty fried after all the running we were doing. So with that said, let's get into Dan's serves because he had a lot of good first serves. Dan was also doing a higher level of serving that I haven't come across a whole lot here. Is he tries to throw off your return where he changes the timing of his serve. Before he starts his motion, he'll change the timing of his motion. So when you think like, oh, he's gonna serve it, he'll breathe a moment or two, which causes you to kind of like do a false start. That took me a while to get used to, so he was really effective with that. And then there'd be other times where he would serve it just immediately. There wasn't a lot of prep time. You just had to try to guess when he was gonna serve. But after a while, I was kind of able to figure out when his serve motion actually started, and that helped me get a few more returns in later in the game. But it took a while to figure it out. But yeah, he had a lot of really good first serves. So these next handful of clips is Dan's highlights. He had a lot of good plays, and yeah, we had a lot of fun out there. Oh, he gets me on the approach shot. So there's that other forehand that he has. And then his other forehand. And then he slices it. And I miss my slice. So he had a pretty good shot there. Ooh, out corner, pulls me wide. And almost makes me run into the fence. Yeah, really good shot there by Dan. Pulls me out wide again. I hit a slice, but it's long. Painted that line. Yeah, if we play that back, you can see it's just right on the edge of that line there. Oh my gosh. That's another thing I feel like playing in 4.0 is that there's a lot more players that can paint the lines, as I call it, where like you think it's going out and then it just barely comes in and hits the line. Really good defense by Dan. I'm trying to plow through him with my forehand. Approach and cross-court shot. So yeah, serve, approaches, and he just puts away a very clean volley. Oh, clips the net, but he gets the point. Ooh, I get one down the line. Two-handed backhand. Slice. and then long. So yeah, really good consistency by Dan. Oh, he just gets the line on that serve, and then puts away a volley. Oh, and he did it to me again. So Dan was doing a good job of pulling me out wide and then approaching the net and then putting away a volley. Good hustle by Dan, gets it on the line, and then long. Oh, and a volley that's long. So this clip here, Dan has some good consistency, some good hustle going on. So I try to hit one down the line, he gets it, and then I miss that shot there. He approaches the net, boom, puts it away, and long. So yeah, a little bit of serve and volley action there. Oh, and then I hit it in the net. Slice by Dan. Forehand. He approaches, chips it. And then, yeah, another volley causes me to mess up. So yeah, a lot of good highlights by Dan. He played really consistent. He played really well. His movement and making me move, not letting me set up, proved to be effective. If I can set up for my forehand, then usually I can hit some pretty decent shots, but he figured that out pretty quick, and he kept me on the move. All right, so these next few clips here, getting my first serve in, the pressure gets put on my opponent instead of hitting a second serve, and then the pressure feels like it's on me just a little bit. Out. Out. Oh yeah. Ah. 40 left. There was one game where I double faulted on every single point and gave up an entire game to Dan. And I was trying to hit my first serves, but I had to adjust because my legs were pretty fried at that point, so I couldn't get the height that I usually do. So I had to switch up to my second serve or more of a slice serve just to get the ball in. Because after I threw away that game, I was like, all right, I need to change something up. My first serve is not working anymore. In the game of tennis, as much as you would like your game to just work perfectly all the time, a lot of times you gotta adjust on the fly. All right, so we're getting some of my highlights. These first two clips are bad clips. I was talking about that mental game where I had some easy shots, some shots I should put away, and instead of throwing a fit, letting it get inside my head, I just move on to the next thing. But mentally, I remember I had a handful of those shots, and I was just like, all right, cool, I messed up, move on. All right, let's get into some of the highlights. So forehand cross court, I hit a slice. Ooh, he almost gets me on the spin there. And that ball was just slightly out. Boom. And then forehands on the open court side over there. So with the approach shots, if you guys watched one of my previous videos, I was practicing my approach shot up the middle because there's a handful of guys where they hit the... Oh, there we go. That's a good shot. Because there was a handful of guys hitting a lot of their shots kind of in the center of the court, and I found the most effective way to hit winners off them is just to plow it up the middle and approach the net. Now, that doesn't work against every player. Against Dan, it was more effective to try to pull him out wide and then hit an approach shot to the corners of the court. He was really nimble on his feet, so hitting up the middle wasn't really effective against him at all. So I had to change up tactics there as far as my approach shot, but there was a handful of approach shots where I hit it to the corners, and that worked out really well. So this point right here is probably my best point in the match. Hit a forehand, go to my forehand again, and then I approach the net, forehand up the line, and then I hit an overhead, and then I almost biffed that shot. I almost shanked it, but I recover, hit it out wide, approach again, drop shot, and he can't reach it. That's probably the best drop shot I've hit all year so far. So I'm pretty proud of that play there, able to stay with it even though I almost shanked it. Ooh. And then an awkward shot there, but I'm able to get the angle and get the point off that. Got kind of lucky there. Oh, I also get lucky on this shot. Dan was going to go for it, but he doesn't, and then the ball barely floats back in. There we go, volley up the line. Got him on the back foot. Volley right to him, and then just wide. Approach the net. Oh, that might have was going to go out, but Dan's shaking, so I get a little lucky there. Ooh, good serve by Dan. Gets a volley, got a hustle, and then right up the line. Slicer right up the line. And then cross court backhand again. So I had a similar shot against Will, and my two-handed backhand has been working out pretty well for me. I think I'm going to make a video on that, on how the one-handed backhand has improved my two-handed backhand. I got to do some analysis though on how that happened. And then long. All right, so this point right here, I don't win the point, but I have some crazy hustle on this. So this point's kind of fun to watch. Take a look at this. Big serve, I approach, barely get that back in. It makes me chase wide, chase it down again, chase it down for a third time, chase it down for a fourth time, and then I hit it in the net. And then Dan's like, you got some crazy wheels there, bud. So that was a fun point, but didn't win it, but I had some good hustle. Ooh, then a forehand I just blast on the open court. And another forehand. Slice. Two-handed backhand up the line. Make him chase it, and then in the net. Backhand up the line. Forehand. Forehand. Forehand up the line. Then approach. And another overhead. So there, that was a good point. I was being patient and waiting for a shot that I could approach on. And that proved out to work well because he gave me an overhead. Oh, gotta chase it. A little slice. And then long. Boom, forehand up the line again, and in the net. Corner. Cross court again. My jumping forehand again. Double backhand. Approach. Oh, I step back though. Another slice. Slice up the line, and he hits in the net. So yeah, that point was a little risky, but I made it work.
Out.
And then a lob, and I get the lob. So this is towards the end of the match, so Dan was like, I'm not going to chase that ball. Oh, he makes me chase it, and then a running forehand. Forced error, so that was good. All right. Well, that's all the highlights for this match. Really happy that I was able to pull out that win. That was a lot of fun to play. So yeah, on to the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and let's go for gold.